This is Dr. Solar coming to you from Lagos, Nigeria. Nigeria's solar market is moving very fast. Everywhere you look, homes, schools, hospitals, supermarkets, factories, hotels, and estates are now asking serious questions about solar power. And the reason is simple. The grid is unreliable. Diesel is expensive, generator maintenance is stressful, and businesses cannot plan properly when power supply is uncertain. For many Nigerians, solar is no longer a luxury. It is becoming a survival tool. But there is another side to this story. When demand runs faster than discipline, the market becomes messy. You get low quality equipment, poor installations, fake products, wrong system sizing, unsafe wiring, bad batteries, poor after sales support, and customers who spend millions of naira but still do not get the reliability they were promised. That is where Nigeria is today. We are in a solar boom, but we are also in a quality test. And if you want to understand where Nigeria's solar market may be heading, look at South Africa. South Africa went through a similar phase during load shedding. Demand exploded. Homes and businesses rushed into rooftop solar. Solar panels, inverters, and batteries flooded the market. Everybody wanted protection from power cuts. At first, the market looked exciting, but underneath the growth, problems appeared. Some systems were badly designed, some installations were unsafe, some installers were not properly trained, some customers were sold systems that did not match their real load, and some equipment entered the market without proper quality control. Then South Africa began to professionalize the market. Installer standards became more important, certification became more important, documentation became more important. Customers started asking who was qualified and who was accountable. That is how a solar market moves from chaos to compliance. But even South Africa has not solved every problem. Even in a more mature solar market, there are still complaints about slow approvals, municipal red tape, grid connection delays, financing barriers, and unqualified installers doing unsafe work. So regulation helped South Africa, but it did not remove every challenge. It simply changed the market from a free-for-all into a more structured industry. Nigeria is now entering that same story, but our version has some sharper pain points. Nigeria's biggest challenges are fake products, low-quality imports, weak installer skills, poor system design, bad wiring, and customers being sold systems based only on price. That is dangerous because solar is not a gadget. Solar is infrastructure. A proper solar power system is not just panels, batteries, and an inverter. It is an engineered solution. You must understand the customer's load. You must understand peak demand. You must understand starting currents. You must understand phase balance. You must understand battery autonomy. You must understand cable sizing. You must understand protection devices. You must understand earthing and surge protection. You must understand how the customer actually uses power. This is where many solar systems fail. The customer is sold equipment, but not engineering. They are sold a battery, but not a power strategy. They are sold panels, but not a proper design. They are sold backup, but not reliability. And when things go wrong, people blame solar. But many times, solar did not fail. The design failed. The installation failed. The equipment selection failed. The workmanship failed. The after-sales support failed. That is why Nigeria must professionalize the solar market quickly. Another major issue is equipment quality. Nigeria has many imported panels, inverters, batteries, cables, breakers, and accessories. Some are excellent, some are acceptable, some are fake, some are dangerous. And because many customers do not know the difference, they buy based on price alone. That is risky. A cable may look thick but have poor copper content. A battery may be labeled with a capacity it cannot deliver. An inverter may not handle real Nigerian loads properly. A breaker may not trip when it should. A surge protector may be installed wrongly. In solar, small shortcuts can create big problems. A loose connection can create heat. Undersized cable can overheat. Wrong protection can fail during a fault. Poor battery management can shorten battery life. Bad installation can create fire risk. This is why product testing, standards, and certification matter. And this is why customers must stop asking only how much. They must also ask, what exactly am I buying and who is taking responsibility? The good news is that Nigeria is not standing still. There is now more attention on equipment testing, product quality, technical standards, and workforce training. The Rural Electrification Agency has moved toward testing and simulation before deployment. SON and SONCAP are being used to tighten product quality rules. Theirs is tying funding to technical standards, proper delivery, and installer training. These developments show that Nigeria's solar market is beginning to move from informal selling toward a structured energy industry. And Lagos is already showing us one example of where the market is heading. In some Lagos state housing estates, residents are required to get approval before installing solar panels or making external changes to buildings. Some people may see this as bureaucracy, but the reason is serious. Officials have pointed to leaking roofs, fire outbreaks, poor materials, and unqualified installers. In a shared estate, one person's poor installation can become everybody's problem. If panels are badly mounted, they can damage the roof. If cables are poorly routed, they can create hazards. If an inverter is placed in a bad location, it may overheat. If batteries are installed carelessly, the risk increases. If the system has poor protection, a fault can become a fire. Solar fires do not usually happen because of the sun. They happen because of bad workmanship, poor cable sizing, loose connections, wrong breakers, bad inverter placement, poor earthing, wrong battery installation, overloaded circuits, no surge protection, no documentation, no accountability. So approval rules are not really about stopping solar, they are about making solar safer. Now, Nigeria and South Africa are not exactly the same. South Africa's boom was heavily shaped by rooftop residential systems and grid-tied solar. Nigeria's market is different. Here, many customers are not thinking about exporting power to the grid. They are thinking about survival. They want to reduce diesel. They want to run their businesses during the day. They want batteries that can carry critical loads. They want hybrid systems because the grid is weak. They want solar plus storage because outages are frequent. That means Nigeria's market will be broader. It will include schools, hospitals, hotels, factories, estates, supermarkets, restaurants, telecom sites, mini grids, and industrial solar plus storage systems. This makes Nigeria's opportunity much larger, but it also makes the engineering challenge more serious. A commercial solar system is not just a few panels on a roof. It requires load analysis, data logging, phase balancing, generator integration, battery sizing, protection design, monitoring, maintenance planning, and customer training. One of the biggest mistakes in solar design is designing from a load list alone. A customer may say, I have 10 air conditioners, 5 freezers, lights, computers, and pumps. But that list does not tell you the whole truth. The real question is, what runs at the same time? What is the peak load? What is the minimum load? Which loads surge when they start? Which phase carries the heaviest load? Are the phases balanced? Are there voltage problems? Are some loads creating spikes? That is why data logging matters. A serious installer should not design only by guessing. They should measure, they should observe, they should understand the real behavior of the site. Financing will also professionalize the market. As more banks and financiers enter solar, they will not want to finance poor installations. They will want credible equipment, they will want responsible installers, they will want documentation, they will want warranties, they will want evidence that the system can perform. That changes the market. The conversation moves away from who is cheapest. It moves toward who can deliver a reliable system that protects the customer and the financier. That is how an industry matures. So what should customers do? First, stop buying solar only by price. The cheapest proposal may become the most expensive mistake. Ask whether an energy audit was done. Ask whether the equipment is genuine. Ask who supports the product in Nigeria. Ask what warranty applies. Ask what cables, breakers, earthing, and surge protection will be used. Ask where the batteries will be placed. Ask how the system will be monitored. Ask what happens when there is a fault. And ask one very simple question. Will this company still be here in 5 years? Because solar is not just a purchase, it is a long-term relationship. For installers, the message is also clear. The days of selling boxes are ending. Customers are becoming more educated. Banks are becoming more involved. Regulators are watching more closely. Estate managers are demanding approvals, and poor work is becoming more visible. To survive the next phase, installers must professionalize. They must train their technicians. They must document their work. They must use proper materials. They must size systems correctly. They must stop using undersized cables. They must stop installing equipment in unsafe locations. They must stop promising what the system cannot deliver. And they must build after-sales support into the business model. At AWPS Renewable Energy, this is the market we are building for. We believe solar must be treated as infrastructure, not as a quick sale, not as a box-moving business. Our focus is proper design, premium equipment, professional installation, remote monitoring, and long-term support. We are the home of the 10-year warranty because we believe customers deserve systems that are built to last. But a warranty is not just a slogan, it is a commitment. It means choosing the right equipment, installing it correctly, training the customer, monitoring the system, and supporting the customer after installation. Nigeria's solar market is growing quickly, but growth alone is not enough. The next phase belongs to companies that combine engineering, discipline, safety, accountability, and service. South Africa showed the path from chaos to compliance. Nigeria is now entering that same story, but possibly at a faster pace and on a bigger stage. In the early stage, everybody sells. In the mature stage, only the serious players survive. The weak players will be squeezed out. Fake products will face more scrutiny. Unsafe installations will attract more attention. Customers will ask better questions. Banks will demand better documentation, regulators will enforce higher standards, and quality will become the real differentiator. In plain terms, Nigeria's solar market is growing up. It is moving from a gadget boom to an energy industry, and the winners will be those who build for reliability, not just price. This is Dr. Solar coming to you from Lagos, Nigeria. If this video helped you understand where Nigeria's solar market is heading, please subscribe, like, and share it. And if your home, school, hospital, estate, or business is ready for professional solar power, visit AWPS Renewable Energy Ltd at www.awpsre.com, AWPS Renewable Energy Ltd, the home of the 10-year warranty.